Aquarius, welcome to your tarot reading for the week of May 3rd through the, I was going to say 10th, but actually it's the 9th. It's Raina, and I've started this a couple of times. One due to my tripod just falling over, but anyway, I did pick a few additional cards because for clarification, a couple of additional cards, because the Five of Pentacles didn't seem like the kind of ending type of card, resolution card, and then the Ten of Wands didn't either, so I picked a third card. So, and I usually don't do that, so that's the only thing that's kind of different. The heart of the matter is the Two of Cups, which can be a card of reunion, and or it could be that you're committing to someone. I have to bring up the challenge card because it's very important. It's tied into this. This is an offer of love, a new beginning, new beginning of a relationship. Sometimes it can be a pregnancy. So you can have somebody, the different scenarios are that you are, you start a new relationship or you meet a new person that you like, but then you end up going back with your partner that you were estranged from. However, I'm beginning to think, having done this over a couple of times, that it's probably more likely that you are the one who wants to start a relationship and you have fallen in love with somebody who may have been already committed, or and they might have been estranged or like separated, but they've gone back to that person, and you feel like you can't get your relationship off the ground fully because they have gone back to that partner, recommitted to that partner. And if you find yourself in that position, because you're an Aquarius, you really have to ask yourself if maybe you were attracted to the situation in the first place because the other person was married or, had a partner when you met them. Because sometimes I think with Aquarius, there's a little bit of ambivalence, a little bit of being torn between whether or not you want a monogamous relationship. When I say that, I mean a 24/7 relationship. So that's what I should have said. And it might be a little bit easier to deal with somebody who is not really there a lot of the time. And you can kind of tell yourself that you want to be with them full time, but you don't have to really deal with it. I don't know. I mean, I do think that for some people who are really committed to the idea of being with someone all the time, it would just never be acceptable to be waiting for them to leave their partner, the partner that they're with now, because you would be like, well, if you're going to do it, do it. You'd be kind of impatient, and you'd be skeptical that they weren't really serious about it, and they were just kind of leading you on. In terms of anything professional, it could be a situation where you are going into partnership with someone rather than going it alone. Maybe you had some kind of another offer that allows you to work alone, and you'd rather work with another person. We even get this card here of maybe there's multiple people. This Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork, and I have to plug in my power source here, or we will be going off the air. Okay. And so that could point to maybe you've made some kind of contacts with others through the work that you do, and you've decided to go into a partnership. But there might be also other people who are helping out, or, that are going to help you get clients in some way. The number 3 is a number of abundance. It's a number of creativity, and it's this is the Architect's card here. So it could be that for some people, they decide to stay in their marriage because, and it might not be you, the other person, because they want something with continuity. And maybe they have children and they just don't want to tear that apart. They feel like they have already established something. The advice is represented by the Knight of Pentacles. If there is a Taurus person, or maybe this is even timing issues, because in mid-May there will be a new moon in Taurus. But for advice for you is to just work hard, you know, keep your nose to the grindstone. And if you are involved with other people and you're starting a venture, you may have to really put in those initial hours before you see the results, the fruit of your labor. But also, it can be telling you to find somebody, or to value that kind of a person that the Knight of Pentacles represents. It may not be literally a Taurus, but this card represents someone who is solid, reliable, who is predictable. And your ruler, Uranus, you're also ruled by Saturn, but I think that everyone connects Aquarius to Uranus, is all about being a maverick, being unpredictable. So it's the exact opposite. So you might actually value that kind of personality who is hard to pin down, you know, especially if they are involved with somebody else and they can't see you very often. And yet this card is saying that maybe you need to value the type of person who is constant, who's always going to be there. And you've been too caught up in false excitement and the drama of an unpredictable person. And yeah, I mean, that's the Taurus is a fixed sign, you're a fixed sign. So you actually like that kind of constancy, at least in your life in general. But perhaps sometimes it can feel a little bit boring. And you have to be able to differentiate between something being boring and something being solid, you know. And by the way, I'm not saying that you should be with a Taurus person, because you would have a lot of adjustments to make and it might not be the right match for you, but those qualities can be found in people of different signs. And the outcome is the Five of Pentacles, and this is a card of lack consciousness. So this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to end on this note, because it's not a positive note and it doesn't really explain anything. I think that when I get these kinds of what I would call excessively negative cards in the outcome position, it's kind of like telling you that if you continue to be stubborn and hold to a certain mindset, that you risk having a certain outcome that you don't want. The Five of Pentacles is about having the kind of negative lack consciousness thinking that perpetuates the very thing that you don't want. So in this particular case, let's say that my scenario is kind of true for you, where you're waiting for somebody to leave their partner that you have fallen in love with. The reason that you may even be in this position is because you're willing to settle for less. Not that the person is no good, but that they are unavailable, and they're problematic in the sense that they're willing to step out on their partner too. So that also is a strike against them. Of course, if you know that they are married and you're going along with it, then you have to question your own values and whether or not you're doing to others what you would want done to you. I realize, you know, I think that's probably the preachiest I've ever gotten, but I'm just tired of getting a lot of people who assume that I think infidelity is okay. I don't, but I know that it exists, so I'm not going to shy away from talking about it, but I don't want to kind of dismiss it as nothing, because I do feel that it can create a lot of problems, and one of the main ones is that you may end up waiting and waiting for years for somebody to leave a person they have no intention of leaving. As I said about the Three of Pentacles, that could be that this person is realizing that they don't want to break up their solid base, which is the family, representing, you know, that Three of Pentacles, for a fling. And you may see it differently. You may think it's, you know, this great love affair, and they may say to themselves, you know, this is really just a physical attraction. I don't really think that I want to destroy my life for this this affair. It's just not worth it to me. And they decide to stay with that person. And where does that leave you? Out in the cold. And that's what this card represents. So I got a couple of other cards. Now this one, the Ten of Wands, can be, you could call it like an extension of that Knight of Pentacles. You may just lose yourself in your work, Aquarius, and you may have a lot on your plate right now. Maybe you're doing other things in your life that create, I think in my astrological reading, there was like a lot of things that related to family matters. I can't remember. But you may be taking care of family or just doing other things that require your attention, and you feel like you're spreading yourself too thin, but you at least are distracted by that, so you're not just sitting there waiting for somebody else. So that's a plus. And then I picked the last card, and it was the Five of Swords in reverse. And so it could be that you get the final laugh, if you will. I'm not talking about really revenge, but something may come out where a person's lies come back to haunt them. Okay, so, you know, whenever we have a full moon, that can be a time of secrets getting revealed. We have a full moon on May 29th. That's at the end of the month, obviously not now. But for you, there could be this sense that you believed something that somebody said, and you found out that it wasn't that way at all. In terms of any kind of business venture, you may have to work hard to see results, but you have to also be willing to open your mind more. You may have a lot of negative messages that you're saying to yourself that are making it hard for you to really embrace potential good. So you might have to do some inner work. And the Five of Swords in reverse may be that some of the people that you are associating with are, you find out who they really are somehow. And this could be like former co-workers. If you're getting away from that type of situation, which this could be, and you're partnering with somebody else, you may realize, I made the best choice. It might not have been easy for you, but you realize that that you were kind of like on the right path all along. Okay, Aquarius, that's what I have for you. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below this video. I wish you all the best in this first week in May. I'm recording this on the 1st of May. Okay, take care. Bye.